2, 1.
Hi, everyone. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, it's my honor to have a good friend of mine, Wally Kerr. He's in Oklahoma City, Norman, the greater Oklahoma City area, and he's been a longtime member, extremely successful. And Wally, first of all, I want to thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Craig. Always great, man. Always fun.
Hey, I don't know what drives you. You do an awesome job. You've been doing this for a long, long time. How many families have you served now?
Somewhere around 5,000.
5,000. That's awesome. You can see in behind Wally, you'll see the backdrop, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty.
So out there a minute.
There it is. Your unique selling proposition, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty is the name of your company. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and how you do such an awesome job setting yourself apart from other realtors, and what attracts buyers and sellers in your marketplace to basically just call and say, "Come and get me."
Okay. Well, I'll try to make it quick, but concise. How's that, Craig? I started with the Better Homes and Gardens franchise back in 1987. I went to Remax and I was there for many years, like you were.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started my own firm because I just didn't see the Remax franchise where I was. Like you said, I didn't see, they just wanted to promote the balloon. I wanted to promote myself. I wanted people to come to me because of the service that I offered and the great people that I had. And so I went out on my own and called it Kerr Team Real Estate. And that was all fine and good. And I built a good local reputation. But the truth is, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, as you and I see the market shift, is what home sellers want. They don't want to just look online and search for a real estate company that doesn't have a promise or a guarantee in their name. And so we made the switch over last April and really just went out over the last 6 months and really got into full promotion of the franchise. The market's shifting, and you and I have talked about that a bit, and you and I knew it was going to shift. We knew it wasn't going to stay the same. So as a 34, 35-year broker, I looked and said, where have I been in my career? Where do I want to go? And how do I want to help more people? I used to do this truthfully, Craig, for the money. I now do this because I love serving people. And all of the people that we bring on our team, they have to care about people and serving people more than they do the money. You know, what's neat, Craig, is you and I, when we give great service to a customer, we're going to get paid one way or the other. But when we work for the 5-star review, not only do we get paid, but we get referrals. So everybody on my team really, truly cares about people. And we want to serve more people. And what people need as they go into these next few years is a guarantee that our real estate firm is going to perform for them and give them a written guarantee that we'll sell their home or will, lay out what that incentive is on their part if we don't do it in the agreed time period. So it's been a journey for me, Craig, and I'm happiest now. I'm happier now than I've ever been. I don't have to work. I love to work, and I come with energy and enthusiasm to my office every morning. We have a great team of about 32 people now, so we've grown a lot. And I just am very passionate still about what we do, what we're doing for people, and how much fun it is to be a part of this real estate industry, but a part of your program too. I've been with you since 2007 because you got a lot of members, and I don't expect you to remember that, but I've been with you, Craig, for 15 years, and there's a reason that I'm still with you and still helping teach others and participating like this so that we can have fun together.
So many gold nuggets there, Wally. Obviously, that's exciting to me to create Craig Proctor lifetime members. You meet hundreds of them at our conferences, and we will be talking about our upcoming conference that's actually 2 weeks today in Orlando, Florida. There will be hundreds of Craig Proctor members, maybe 1,000 descending on Orlando, Florida. Now, you don't have to be a Craig Proctor member to attend. And we have a judge and leave money back guarantee where you can come at my risk, really. If you are not absolutely thrilled with what you learn, we just give you your money back, because I am looking for lifetime relationships like Wally Kerr. Wally's been with me since 2007. So we'll talk a little bit about the Orlando conference. We'll drop some information in the comments below. It's just craigproctorseminar.com. But at our conferences, you see people like Wally that have been extremely successful, making millions of dollars a year. Have been with me for a long time, presenting on what they're doing. So you're hearing directly from people making millions of dollars a year. That's what makes the conferences great. You're not just coming for to hear me. You're actually getting to meet and become friendly with real estate agents that are doing the thing that you want to do. Now, Wally, you said that originally when you got into real estate, that you were doing it for the money. But once you had your financial needs met, you kept going as hard or even harder. How many watching this can relate to that? I mean, I can relate to that. I can relate to definitely, Wally, I can relate to definitely needing the money. And that was my main motivator. It's like, I've got to get in there and make something happen with my life. But once the financial needs are taken care of, so, once you get to that point where you can't even spend all the money that you've made, what drives someone like you to continue to, kind of go all in and keep going at such a strong pace?
I've never flunked at anything. I take that back. I have flunked at a whole lot of things I've tried, Craig, probably like you. There's a lot of things, and we talk about that inside your program. So let's just kind of run off the side here and talk about what you've just brought up. And that is everything inside your program. When I joined back in 2007, and by the way, I remember going to the conference, that was your guarantee. You could go back to the table at noon on the second day. You would write a check back for the tuition, no questions asked. And I sat through the first day. I was engaged the first morning, fully engaged the second afternoon. And by noon on the second day, Craig, when you got to noon and you stood on stage and said, okay, if you don't feel like that you can make $50,000 more in your pocket over the next year, you can go back to the table, whatever her name was, hey, hold your hand up in the air. And she did. Say, go back and you can get your check now. And I was staring to see if anybody was dumb enough to go back there and actually get a check. And no, I didn't see anybody go to the table. So I've always been driven and motivated, and there's a lot of things that I tried that didn't work. So when I joined your system and your coaching program, the first thing you said was, everything is time tested here. We have recipes that work. It's sort of like, Craig, if you go to bake a chocolate cake and you go get a box of Betty Crocker and it says put 3 eggs in it, how many eggs do you put inside when you bake the cake?
It's true. Like everything that you want to do inside of real estate is already successfully being done by Wally Kerr and by hundreds of my members. Really, this is just about taking a shortcut. I'm not saying, and to anybody who's watching this, you can't figure this out on your own. I'm just saying, Wally's been with me since 2007. He still doesn't have everything implemented because everything's changing. We're always bringing in new techniques, and the market's changing. That's a big point too. I want to talk about, Wally. You've been doing this for over 30 years. You've seen these down markets before. You've been through many recessions. You've been through 9/11. You've been through a pandemic now. A lot of realtors have not seen a down market. I think 20% of realtors, so about 1 in 5, have only had their license in the last 3 years. So all they know is an up market. They need to understand how to change their approach in their marketing to actually attract customers and deal with the new reality. What kind of things are working the best for you right now?
So I think what works best for me, Craig, is my name is well known. We talk a lot in our program about what you and I call omnipresence, and that is being everywhere. So a lot of people, I think today, and you and I have had some discussions about this, are making their decisions long before they pick up the phone call to call a realtor today. Everything they can do online, and they've been able to do that for years. And so whether it's Google, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it is being in their mailbox or them hearing me on local radio, I have people call and tell me and say, I've been hearing about you for years. You seem like a credible source, and I've decided I want to do business with you.
Yeah, and it's not just that people know who you are. They understand through your marketing what makes you different and better than the other realtors. So simply creating an awareness. I mean, that's the kind of the first step. Like, people have to obviously know you to do business with you. But you take it a step further. In all of your marketing, people clearly understand, what you're doing that's unique, what benefits they're going to derive from doing business with you versus other agents. And so you mentioned, a lot of the decision making as to who the buyer and seller is going to use is being done before the meeting at the kitchen table. So, back in the day, right, the way this used to work is you would generate a lead and you would call the lead and, qualify the buyer or seller with the hopes of, getting together with them, getting a meeting. And the purpose of the meeting was so you could do a presentation about, how good you are and hopefully get the business. Today, though, those decisions are being made online. Okay. Buyers and sellers are deciding who they're going to use, who they're predisposed to working with before the meeting. And this is something that's happened, probably because of the pandemic. People were used to, not meeting with people. I mean, we were all trained, don't stay away from people. And so, this is a change in the behavior of the buyers and sellers. And also, I think we would all agree, it's very difficult to get buyers and sellers to answer the phone. So not only has the economy changed, and we've got record inflation, and the Federal Reserve is hiking interest rates very aggressively. So a lot of home buyers are being priced out of the market. So we've got economic changes, but we've also got a change in the behavior of the buyers and sellers, where they're not as many of them are answering the phone, and not as many of them want to meet with a real estate agent just to find out what they do. That's why this omnipresence that you create, everyone in your marketplace knows who Wally Kerr is. They know a little bit about you too. The great thing about video and what you do is people not only know, who you are and what you do, but they kind of get a feel for who you are. They almost kind of feel like they know a little bit about you and they know who you are before that meeting, which causes the meeting to happen. So basically what I'm saying is we're doing the presentation first. The presentation, the heavy lifting, is being done with the marketing. Okay, that's the job of the marketing. The job of the marketing is to not only create an awareness of you in your city, but buyers and sellers have to immediately understand what makes you different and better, so they call you. Does that make sense to everybody? If they won't pick up the phone, if we can't call them, we got to get them to call you. And that's the magic behind Wally Kerr. Wally Kerr is, he is everywhere. Once you trip into Wally Kerr's marketing, you're going to see him everywhere. He's going to be retargeting. You're going to see him everywhere that you go, and you get those phone calls on a daily basis, which is, "Hey, Wally, come on over and get me."
Right. Yeah. It's and Craig, that's a lot of what we're going to be doing with the students that decide to jumpstart their career in Orlando and join us here in 2 weeks, is teaching them how to not have to take baby steps, but to literally leap the hurdles over the competition and learn how to do this quickly. And I think it's really important that people understand, this economy, Craig, is changing like I've never seen it. You and I are about the same age. I've never seen anything like this before. It's been the craziest let's call it about a 27-month ride now.
Yep.
Since say May of 2020. I've never seen anything like it. And now the Federal Reserve, like you said, they're overcorrecting to try to make up for bad mistakes that were made. So
yesterday in Canada, the Bank of Canada, which is the equivalent of the Federal Reserve, they raised the interest rates 1 full percentage point. Just yesterday, the rates went up 1 point. And I think the Federal Reserve later this month is going to do the same. That's what they're thinking at this point. So we're going to have to be changing our approach. Really, a lot of the things, Wally, that you and I were doing back in 2008 and 2009, when you first started with me, we'll be pulling a lot of those things out of the drawers, and we'll be implementing some of the techniques that we were successfully using in a down market. Now, you mentioned you and I are about the same age. You and I are about the same age as the average realtor. The average age of a realtor is 52 years old. Now, the reason I mention this is I get a lot of realtors that come to me and they say, look, I'm whatever, I'm 52 or I'm 54 years of age, and I don't understand, I don't understand, or I don't like doing video. I don't understand how to pixel on Facebook, or I don't understand how to retarget. Folks, all this can be learned. Okay. There's nothing really complex about this. It's just a different media. And this is why we want to coach you up on what is being done by millionaire real estate agents. So many trainers out there have not even had a real estate license themselves, and frankly, they weren't that successful. I have created more millionaire realtors than any other coach, trainer, or guru. When you come to Orlando, and by the way, you can watch it virtually, because I got a few people asking, well, do I have to fly to Florida? It's better if you come in person. If you come in person, you get to meet the Wally Kerrs, you get to meet the Craig Proctor superstar millionaire members. You get to go out to lunch with them. And really those friendships are very important. Wally, you and I were talking before we got started, but here's typically what happens. Somebody sees all these millionaire presenters and they're like, well, maybe they can do it and I can't. Or we hear this a lot, right? Oh, your marketplace is different. Folks, Wally's in Oklahoma. Okay, if he can do it in Oklahoma, you can do it wherever you are. That's a very natural thing we hear from realtors is, well, maybe Wally's got some kind of advantage. I don't know, maybe he inherited money or he's in Los Angeles. No, Wally worked for everything he's got. Okay, he's in middle America. This can be done in any marketplace, and you will meet agents from all over the United States, Canada, heck, from all over the world at our Orlando event. Now, it's $495. That's it. And you're protected by my judge and leave money back. It's a no-brainer. It's a judge and leave guarantee, like Wally said. You lay down your $495. If you're not blown away, just go to the back of the room. We'll give you your money back. I can't think of a better or more fair offer than that.
Craig, they'll never ask for it. They'll never ask for it. Come ask me for it. Don't ask Craig for it. Come ask me to write a check for it if you're not satisfied that you're going to make that much more money, because you're just not going to. It's if you want to learn. So Craig, there's a lot of realtors that have gotten into the business over the last 2 years. Real estate's been pretty easy, Craig. I would call it being an order taker over the last 2 years. And we're returning to a time, and I want to be very transparent. Craig, I got into real estate in 1987. And I just about filed bankruptcy in 1991. Okay. So no, I didn't inherit any money. As a matter of fact, every dollar that I've ever made, I've had to work for. So
starvation's a good motivator.
Yeah. So anyway, just real quickly, I think there's a lot of realtors that might be listening to this podcast today that would say, hey, I've done pretty good over the last 2 years, but it seems like the market is changing. I think I can still hang with this, but I'm feeling a little uneasy because my closings are going down. The amount of buyers out there, they seem to be scared off by these higher interest rates. How am I going to survive? I left my career. I got into real estate. The last 2 years have been easy. What do I do now? Craig, this conference is for those people. There are more realtors in the business right now in the US, and I'm sure in Canada, than there's ever been in history, And so if the amount of transactions are going to go down because interest rates go up, maybe it's a little harder for people to buy, now that the rates have gone up, they can't buy as much home. It's cooling our market down. Our local MLS has more than doubled on current inventory over the last 6 to 7 months. It's also going to be harder.
The water hole is shrinking, and it's pretty crowded around the shrinking water hole.
Well, and look at listings too. It's going to be harder for sellers to sell. They need a realtor with experience who understands the market. And
absolutely. They're not so likely to list with their friend that, I don't know, is a hairdresser part-time and sells real estate part-time. We're going to see that it really matters now to buyers and sellers who the realtor is.
Right.
Let's talk about how important it is to be your own marketing director versus abdicating the marketing. We see a lot of realtors What they think marketing is about is, oh, well, I buy my leads from Zillow. Zillow does my marketing, or Realtor does my marketing. This is all about being your own marketing director. We have to understand you're a marketer first. You can be the most skilled, hardworking real estate agent in the country, but you will starve to death if you don't have a steady stream of buyers and sellers. You see yourself as a marketer first. Talk about that mindset.
Yeah, sure. And you're right. I can go pay ZBuyer. I can pay Bold Leads. I can pay Realtor.com. I can pay Zillow for leads all day long. But I'm giving 25 to 35% referral fees off of the top. And all you have to do is learn to market. I mean, it's very simple. It's just called direct response marketing. And that's what you teach inside your program. In fact, you go to great lengths just during the coaching part of when a new member joins our program on what direct response marketing is, or what we call reverse prospecting, making the prospect call you instead of you having to call a prospect. That's what we invest an enormous amount of money in, and it works very, very well.
You say invest an enormous amount of money. That's because you get a great return. You know, one of the common questions I get from realtors that are not involved with Craig Proctor is, well, what will I have to spend in advertising, or what will it cost? And when I hear that question, what I say to myself, well, here's a realtor that doesn't really understand direct response marketing. And they probably got a really bad return. They haven't made any money with their marketing. So when someone asks me, well, what would my ad spend have to be? My answer is, well, how many homes do you want to sell?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because we want to sell hundreds and hundreds and move to selling 1,000 homes a year. So yeah, my advertising budget is larger. The truth is, your coaching site and your website have all these ads already written that can be run anywhere, including on Facebook, on Craigslist, on social media, on TikTok, at absolutely no cost. You just have to have the right material. Let's get back to that time-tested recipe. Why do you and I, bake the Betty Crocker cake exactly as it says to do on the side of the box? Because it's going to taste good. Why do we follow all of the ads and all of the marketing strategies you already have in place that can be implemented for either $0 or very few dollars? And that is because they work. They're already time tested. They already taste great, right? Okay, they don't taste great, but they work well. I don't know, Craig, I've never tried to taste one of your marketing strategies. Maybe I should try that today, but they certainly work great. And so you can go in with very little budget. Now, we're growing our team and we're a big operation. And of course, we spend a lot on marketing. But when I started with you back in 2007, I certainly didn't have the means and the ability to spend a ton on marketing. And that's why it worked so well for me at the start.
Here's some of the things we're going to be talking about the conference in Orlando. Again, it starts in 2 weeks, and you can register at craigproctorseminar.com. We're going to be talking about the niches that you should be focusing on. So let's start with that. Look, a lot of buyers are being priced out of the market, and a lot of sellers. The challenge we're having right now with sellers is you meet with a seller today, and they want to talk about what their neighbor down the street sold for 3 or 4 months ago. And of course, they're disappointed. Just like when prices were going up in a crazy way, the sellers were surprised, right? The sellers would be saying, "Oh my God, Wally, I can't believe my house is worth that much." Now now they want to talk about, well, that's all it's worth because my buddy John down the street sold for $100,000 more. So one of the things we'll be talking about at the upcoming conference is who you should be targeting. In other words, some niches or some target markets are going to be a lot more profitable for you than others. So we're dusting this off. I mean, this is what we used to do back, if you remember, Wally, back in 08, 2009, 2010, we weren't just working with any buyer or seller. We were only focusing on buyers and sellers that absolutely must act. So I want everyone, if you're taking notes, write that down. We're going to be talking about how to target must act prospects. Okay. These are people that 100% have to move because of some life event. So let's have a look at some of these life events. Divorce. We have a divorce marketing system. I mean, if someone's going through a divorce, they're going to sell the house, no matter whether the market's up or down. In fact, Wally, I think one of the leading causes of divorce are money problems. So if they couldn't afford the house while they were married, now there's going to be a court decree that the house needs to be sold. So our marketing system that we're going to be teaching you in Orlando is twofold. It's a certain marketing campaign to talk to people that are going through that process, okay, and how to go through the process of selling your home, what you need to know when you're going through a divorce about selling your home. Also, we have a marketing campaign directed at divorce attorneys, which is real. And a lot of people ask, well, where do I get the list of divorce attorneys? Well, you can Google them, divorce attorneys near me. So we have special marketing that goes to divorce attorneys, so you can create a relationship with them. So they're referring any of their clients who are going through divorce, which is all of them, hopefully to you. And so that's one strategy we're going to be talking about, is the divorce campaign marketing system. Another great opportunity right now is new construction. So over the pandemic, when the market was really strong, the builders didn't need us. I don't know if that happened in your market, Wally, but many places across the country, they're like, yeah, man, we're not going to pay anything, or we'll give you $500. And so now we find that thousands of buyers have walked away from their contracts. And so all of a sudden now these builders that didn't need us over the last couple of years, they're more interested, and they're actually paying us a commission now. They're not just saying thank you, or we're not going to pay anything, or here's $500. Now, the great thing about new construction is you literally just have to introduce the buyer to the new build rep, and you get your commission. So how do you form those relationships with builders so you can start advertising their product? Okay, so you don't have to have any listings, by the way, for this strategy, but you can actually start to advertise some of the builder's inventory and create this relationship with the builder, so you get their backup property. So when a buyer's buying a new construction home, a new build, they have a house to sell, you want to get those referrals from the builder. That's another marketing system we're going to be laying out. Other people that have to move are empty nesters. The kids go to college, the house is too big. Company relocations, we have a program to get company relos. Thousands of people, especially if we head into a recession, which we're probably there right now, there's going to be a lot of companies, shuffling things around, and people are being transferred. Another thing I want to talk about is FSBOs. Last couple of years, the FSBOs don't want to talk to us. Like, hey, I'm good, I can sell it myself. Now we've got this awesome for sale by owner marketing campaign because they need us now, and we show you how to get in the door. It's a very unique approach. No one else is doing this. So we've talked about divorce, we talked about empty nesters, just move up buyers in generally. Here's what I would target. Right now, we know that luxury, high-end, affluent consumers, they're least affected by a recession. Okay, affluent people are least affected. So, they're not sitting around saying, "Oh, can you believe the price of gas?" or "Can you believe the price?" They're not having those conversations. So, a technique that I'm going to be rolling out is targeting move-up buyers. So imagine somebody that lives kind of in the mid-range in your marketplace, Wally, and they're buying a luxury property. Well, we know the high-end properties are not selling as well. So it's easy to take that move-up buyer and find them a nice luxury home in your marketplace, but it's also fairly easy to sell the move-up listing, where it's harder to sell the luxury listing. So one of the things we'll be laying out are who you should be focusing on, what should be your niches in a down market. And then the next thing we'll talk about is how are you going to get that message out? So, we talked about video, direct mail. You use a lot of direct mail.
We do.
Now, what do most realtors think about about direct mail, right? They either don't know what they're doing, so they stop. They say, oh, well, I tried direct mail and it didn't work. So because their message didn't work, they falsely assume, well, direct mail doesn't work.
Yeah, we call that a message to market match, don't we, Craig? It's a message to market match, and that's what we teach inside the program.
Well, yeah, if you've got the wrong message, okay, or the offer in your direct mail or Facebook, or if it's not the right message, then what I hear from realtors, well, nothing works. My postcards don't work, Facebook doesn't work, Google doesn't work. So as Wally just mentioned, it's the Craig Proctor Triple M formula. You've got to have the right target market, which we talked about a minute ago, right? Targeting people that are going through a divorce, or targeting new construction, right? Or targeting, empty nesters. You've got to have the right message. Okay. You've got to have the right message going to that target market. And the third component is the media. How am I going to reach these people? Video is king. Okay. I know some of you, are a little afraid of video. Maybe we hear that, we hear people saying, I don't like the way I look on video, or I don't like the way I sound. It's like, well, that's how you look, right? You're just seeing it maybe for the very first time, right? I look old. Yeah, it's because you're old, right? But this is how you show up when you go on a listing appointment or a buyer appointment. Anyway, you've got to get over these insecurities with video. And I get it. And I'm sure you can relate to this, Wally. When we started doing video, it's new, but by doing it, you become really, really good at it. And it is the way to reach people. Like right now, Wally and I are doing a presentation to you, right? Why can't you do to buyers and sellers what Wally and I are doing now? You've met Wally Kerr. You're kind of like, yeah, I kind of like this guy. You get his personality. You get to know me. Wally and I are providing good information today. We didn't need to meet with your kitchen table to give you good information, right? And right now we're streaming on Facebook. This is on YouTube. It's on LinkedIn. All of you, we want to coach you up on how to do this. This is what Wally does. And boom, once you watch anything of Wally, you get pixeled. Okay, you understand how pixeling works, right? So as soon as you start to watch some of Wally's stuff, you see him everywhere. You could be looking at the Home Depot website, and you might see Wally Kerr pop up there. It's also inexpensive to do this, to get started. Like you can start off running free ads on Facebook Marketplace. It doesn't cost any money. And then you could start with paid ads on Facebook for even $5 or $10 a day. So if you're sensitive of, if money is tight right now, it's very inexpensive to get started. With the postcards and the direct mail, something I really like, and we'll be talking more about this at the conference, is using QR codes. So the postcard goes out, and maybe like a good offer right now, if I was sending this out, I would, pick high turnover areas, and my headline would be, find out what your home is worth in this crazy market, or find out, what your home is really worth, because, even real estate agents are having a hard time figuring out what homes are worth. You can imagine the seller. Now, I would have a QR code, and it would say, scan your camera phone to find out your updated home price. When they scan their QR code, it would go to a video. So it would be Wally Kerr saying, hey, I'm Wally Kerr. If you want to find out what's going on with your with area home prices, and then you talk a little bit about the market. Now, as soon as they watch, even a couple of seconds, so basically as soon as they scan it, they're pixeled, and now they can see Wally in their news feed all the time. So you could do a weekly report or a monthly report of what's going on in that neighborhood. And some of our members are able to get like 30% of the sellers in their neighborhood to scan that QR code, get them pixeled, and now boom, we can push stuff out. So yeah,
that's remarketing. I think the only word you didn't say in there, Craig, was remarketing. And so when people, I think there's people, again, you're in my age, and you and I aren't movie stars. You just talking about cutting videos, and it's a little bit nervous the first time around. I can guarantee you one thing. You think about this, and I know you know it, is not everybody wants to work with a movie star. There's a lot of people that aren't movie stars themselves. They don't feel like they are. They want a normal person that they can relate to, that's down to earth, that's an expert in the business. It doesn't matter what you look like. What you're doing is people want to work with someone that they feel they can trust, okay, that's knowledgeable inside the marketplace and has their best interest in mind. That has nothing to do with the way you look on a video.
I'm so glad you said that.
Convincing and sincere.
People and people just want to be able to relate to you, right? So,
I was just going to say, for you and our ages, there might be some people in their 50s that are realtors now that say, I just don't really understand what remarketing is. And so we do teach that at the conference and how easy it is. Like you say, it's pixelated. They scan a piece of marketing material. It's pixelated. Now you and I can follow that piece of marketing material with videos behind it. And that's what Omnipresence is no matter where they go. You mentioned the Home Depot website. So somebody goes to Home Depot and I pop up. That's Omnipresence working through remarketing. So there's two terms we talked about today that are very simple. You just have to understand and know how to implement it.
Yeah, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed or in any way that you can't do this. Come and get coached up on this. Look, if I can understand and do it, and Wally can understand and do it, and that's the benefit really of coming to the live event, is you will literally meet hundreds of millionaire agents that are successfully doing it. So what happens is you become friendly, go out to lunch, go out for a beer at the end of the day, and you'll realize that everything they do, you can do. The fact that that you meet people that are doing these things, and they might be just a little bit ahead of you, but all the challenges, the fears, insecurities, whatever's going on, they felt that way at some point, and they're on the other side. So everything you want to do in real estate is already successfully being done by Wally Kerr in hundreds of my members. Now, again, if you can't make it, like you can't fly to Florida and do this in 2 weeks, at least watch virtually. Get the virtual ticket. You're still protected by our judge and leave 100% money back guarantee. Folks, it's $495. What's that? About $160 a day.
And the guarantee is real too, Craig.
The guarantee is real.
Is real. I've been a part of that. I learned so much in just 3 days at a conference with you that the last thing I would ever have done was felt the need to walk back and get a guarantee, but it's there. For those who are skeptics, it's there. Yeah, you were talking about coaching, and what we're talking about, Craig, is coaching. You're a pretty big, I think, pretty accurate statement would be you're a pretty big hockey fan.
That would be an accurate statement.
So I don't have to tell you who Wayne Gretzky is. Probably the biggest, best hockey player of all time. Do you know that? And you know this, Craig, and I know it. Wayne Gretzky had a coach. Now I'm a big NBA fan, and everybody knows probably who LeBron James is. LeBron James has gone through times when he just couldn't hit his free throws inside his career. But you could look at LeBron and say, he's still a really good basketball player. He just needs a little coaching. Well, guess what? LeBron James, all of his career, has had a coach, and he has a coach today. So for those who have succeeded really well over the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, the market is changing. You need to understand how to react to the market. And that's what we are inside the program, are coaches. Just like Wayne Gretzky had a coach, just like LeBron James has a coach, just like your kids will have a coach. If they play football, they'll be coached all the way from the 3rd or 4th grade, all the way into college and into the NFL. So there's no weakness in having a coach. It's actually a distinct advantage over those. I mean, I paid for my son to have a baseball coach because he couldn't hit the ball. Okay. And that's what he wanted to do every time he walked up to the plate, Craig, was hit the ball. So I paid for a coach, and we got him out of that batting slump, and he became a good player. So that's what we're all about, is making you better than you already are in the business, coaching you through with proven recipes that are already there, and helping you manage your marketing, even if you're on a budget, to success over and above all the other agents inside your local marketplace.
Well said. Wally, I want to thank you for being with me here today. I hope everyone's enjoyed our interview. Let us know the comments in the comments below what you thought of today's interview. And by the way, if you're in the greater Oklahoma City metro area and you're watching this, you know who Wally Kerr is. You should contact Wally and have a conversation about partnering up with him in some capacity. I promise you this, you will make more money and work less by partnering up with Wally. He has an overflow of business. He's looking to grow his business and expand it. You've been watching what he's been doing over the years. Don't sit on the sidelines or nibble around the edges. Give him a call. Have a conversation. All good things start with a conversation. But there's a reason why he's so successful. He's had such great longevity. He's been doing this. He's a legend in the marketplace. Give him a phone call. Say, hey, I was watching the Craig Proctor show. I'd like to, have a conversation with you. Go out to lunch or whatever. And for those of you that are outside of Oklahoma, if you want to do what Wally's doing, if you want to truly have a super successful real estate career, not a job in a real estate, but you want to create a business and you want to scale it and expand it and get up every day like Wally does, not for the money, but because he loves what he does and he gets to do it every single day. You should register for my upcoming conference. It's Craig Proctor Seminar. So my name, CraigProctorSeminar.com. We'll put the link, we'll put Wally's contact information, and we'll put the information for the conference in the comments below. But come and get coached up on this. I will explain over 3 days how all this works. I guarantee your results or your money back. Again, you can attend live. It's in Orlando, Florida, or you can watch it virtually from home. But you will learn smart, modern marketing. You will learn how to create omnipresence and understand the presentation is being made before you meet with the prospect. You've got to get that presentation. You've got to get that out in your community, who you are, what you do, what makes you different and better. Those decisions are being made before the buyer and seller meets with the agent. So if you don't know how to do that, come and learn, come and get coached up. We're going to talk about how to scale your business, whether you're a solo agent, you got a small team. We'll show you how to create a mega team. And you're going to meet and have presentations from the top agents all over North America. So invest 3 days with me and my millionaire agents. We're going to wrap it up. Wally Kerr, look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to do this interview. I appreciate it. You're a good friend and a good man. Folks, Wally Kerr from Oklahoma. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig, very much. Really enjoyed the nice things you said. Thanks a million. I really, really appreciate that. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing you in Orlando, Craig, here in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, everyone. This is Craig Proctor, and thank you for watching the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show.